Hello everyone, this is Pico Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk about the latest box office weekend covering Friday the 3rd of March 2023 to Sunday the 5th of March 2023, and the contrasting fortunes for both Creed 3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, for which there may be spoilers ahead, so just beware when going into this overall video. So we'll first focus on Creed 3, which had a great weekend in US cinemas, grossing over $58.6 million, a high point for the franchise, which as we all know is a spin-off of the iconic Rocky film series. Creed began in 2015, focusing on Apollo Creed's unknown son Adonis Creed being trained by Rocky. The movie hit good critical and commercial success, grossing over $178 million worldwide. The sequel Creed 2 hit an even bigger height, grossing over $214.1 million in 2018. And Creed 3 is already looking to surpass that total, having grossed $41.8 million from international markets, for a worldwide total so far of just over $100.5 million. So a couple of reasons why the prequel has done so well, the first one being the goodwill and reception of the previous installments, which is always a good sign to have that form and momentum carrying forward for any more sequels that you plan ahead with the franchise. We also can't deny the inclusion of Jonathan Majors as the movie's antagonist. This also raised further awareness after the actor has risen to prominence with his role as Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So with both actors' previous connections in the MCU, you had all of the prospects of Killmonger going up against Kang, and that confrontation as well gathered more hype and interest in terms of this overall film. The film's success is also an achievement for Michael B. Jordan in his directorial debut, very much now the centre of the franchise with Sylvester Stallone not appearing in the movie, so this will add a lot of more value to his status within Hollywood, so congratulations to him as well. But for all of the success of the film so far, I do want to push back a little bit on a narrative that's been stated by some that Creed 3's opening is somehow a down point and a missed opportunity for Sylvester Stallone. Now, as we all know, Sylvester Stallone has had a long-standing issue with Irving Winkler over the rights of the franchise. The biggest contention being that Stallone actually has no ownership over the films, despite the fact that he starred and very much directed the most successful entries, and also the fact that he actually created the character himself. Now, for me personally, this situation isn't right, and it was very much this disagreement that led him to declining from appearing in the prequel. So no matter how successful the Creed movies are, they have nowhere near the same amount of cultural resonance and legacy of the Rocky films, and if we really wanted to be particular about this, the Rocky movies are still more financially successful, even without accounting for inflation. So that's just something to consider before denouncing Sylvester Stallone just because he didn't appear in this movie. And we also have to be honest here, if Sylvester Stallone did appear in the film's opening likely would have been even bigger. But despite all of that, well done again for all involved within the movie itself, especially Michael B. Jordan, both as an actor and a director, and no doubt we will be seeing Creed 4 in the upcoming future. Now, we go on to a fourth movie that's looking less likely to happen, and that is the installment within the Ant-Man franchise. And we look at Quantumania, which suffered a 61% drop in US cinemas in its third weekend to gross $12.1 million. Overall, the film has now amassed $186 million in that territory, and worldwide it has now made around $420 million. Now, last week when we were reporting on this movie, I said it would have to go some to beat Ant-Man and the Wasp total of $623 million back in 2018. But when looking at it now, Quantumania is going to struggle to even make the first film's total of $590 million back in 2015 during the end of Marvel's Phase 2. So this is just not a good performance at all for Marvel or indeed the film itself. And unlike the start of Phase 4 with the likes of Black Widow, Shang-Chi and Eternals, there's no excuses this time for being in a pandemic or not having a release in China. So in no way, shape or form, this is not a good start for Phase 5. And we'll have to see how things continue later on with both the releases of the likes of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and also the Marvels coming later in November of this year. Now, whilst Marvel probably didn't expect Quantumania to get anywhere near $1 billion, I think they were probably expecting around the $700 to $800 million range, especially when the film had a much more inflated budget when compared to the previous installments. So this is just a massive disappointment, and once again has brought on further scrutiny and debate as to where things currently stand within the MCU. We'll of course get the continued narratives that this is the destruction of the franchise, but as I've said in multiple videos, we will just have to wait and see how things pan out at the end of this year before really seeing where Phase 5 goes forward, and of course what indication it brings about going ahead for Phases 6 and 7. So that's my overall thoughts and feelings and quick reporting on the box office for both Creed 3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania in its third weekend. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Creed 3 is now a viable franchise without Sylvester Stallone? And do you think Ant-Man is now a big sign that maybe the Marvel franchise is coming to an end? Or do you think it won't matter once we see the arrival of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in May this year? Do you think this is just a blip, or do you think this is something of a much more substantial decline that has been happening in Phase 4? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any other topics or suggestions regarding any movies or television series or any other issues within the pop entertainment culture that you'd like to see me cover, then also let me know in the comments, and I will see if I can provide further commentary for you on those topics within the future. Please also hit and like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. And that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.